Xabi Alonso about to be sacked by Real Madrid. Araujo done at Barcelona. Finished. Never playing in those colors again. Ramos to United is happening. Pep dropping 65 million on a new center half. And Milan are after Alisson. Liverpool's #1. We're breaking down all of this, and loads more in today's video. Lads, let's see if we can smash 350 likes on this one. Your support genuinely helps us bring you even better stuff. Right, let's dive into the hottest transfer rumors. Xabi Alonso is not getting it right at Real. The legend who walked back through the door in the summer after that insane triumph with Bayer was meant to carve his name into Bernabeu immortality in pure gold. Instead, he's on the verge of getting the bullet any minute. That 1-2 defeat to Manchester City was another nail in the coffin. It actually started okay. Rodrigo puts them ahead on 28 minutes. You're thinking, this is it. This is the moment everything changes. Wrong. Couple of minutes later, O'Reilly makes it 1-1. Haaland buries the penalty. City take the 3 points and second spot in the Champions League group. Team Talk are reporting that a win against City was literally Xabi's last roll of the dice. Before the game, the board had a crisis meeting and kept him by one solitary vote. One vote. That's all that saved him from the sack before he even stepped onto the pitch. The message was crystal clear. Lose tonight and you're finished. They lost. But they're not sacking him right now. Sunday, it's Alaves in La Liga. A game Real should win blindfolded on a Tuesday night in a thunderstorm. Lose that and they're 7 points behind Barcelona. For Real Madrid, that's not a deficit, that's a canyon. Have a look at these stats. 2 wins in 8 games. 6 points from 5 league matches. For the Royal Club, that's not just bad, it's catastrophic. That's the form of a team fighting relegation, not serial winners. But it goes way beyond results. Sources say before City, the pressure on Alonso was at absolute breaking point. Word was he'd lost the dressing room completely. Big clashes with the senior players. And here's the funny bit. Apparently inside the club after the game, no one's daring to say the words panic or crisis. Yeah, right. When the Titanic's going down, the captain still says, steady as she goes. Except everyone can see the storm cloud hanging over the Bernabeu. Alonso is fighting a tidal wave right now. If he doesn't start winning immediately, it's going to swallow him whole. And yet just a few months ago, everything looked perfect. Invincible Bayer, historic title, the dream replacement for Ancelotti. Everything lined up. But football doesn't care about fairy tales. Winning it there doesn't mean you'll win it here. Real Madrid is different pressure, different spotlight, different egos in that dressing room. Xabi can handle it yet? If they do bin him soon, the chat will instantly turn to him going back somewhere else. Maybe even Bayer, where they still treat him like a god. But for Xabi, that would be devastation. Not just failure, total humiliation. Come home as the returning hero and leave with your tail between your legs. Florentino Perez will probably have to swing the axe to get the squad back together. If Alonso can't win over the big personalities again, the president has no choice. Time is almost up. Alaves on Sunday isn't just 3 points. It's do or die. You'd think Joshua Zirkzee is the best striker in Europe right now with the amount of noise around him, not a lad who's barely kicked a ball under the new manager. Manchester United and Roma are literally talking every single day. The 24-year-old Dutchman is almost certainly leaving Old Trafford in January if United get their way. Under Ruben Amorim, Zirkzee has fallen completely out of the picture and barely gets minutes. United have made their mind up. His style simply doesn't fit Amorim's system. The club's thinking is brutally straightforward: sell him now, take the cash, and pump it straight into midfield reinforcements. Only, as always, one side's plan hits the other side's restrictions. Sky Sport Italia say Roma are digging their heels in. They only want a loan until the end of the season with an option to buy, or better yet, an obligation to buy in 2026. The most realistic version doing the rounds is loan with mandatory purchase if the Wolves qualify for the Champions League. Reason for Roma's caution? Boring old FFP. By June, they have to be UEFA compliant, so they can't splash big money right now. Hence all the loan option obligation nonsense. Out of all the Italian clubs, Roma are miles ahead in the race. Gian Piero Gasperini and sporting director Frederic Massara have already given the green light. They see him as a guaranteed Serie A hit. He knows the league, speaks the language, zero adaptation needed, lands and starts. Gasperini wants him in January yesterday. The window's short and the fixture list is brutal. Funny thing is, right in the middle of all this transfer madness, Zirkzee suddenly started 3 games in a row for United because of injuries to Šeško and Mateus Cunha. Amorim actually liked what he saw and, according to some reports, is no longer dead set on selling and wouldn't mind keeping him until summer. But Roma are pushing hard and ready to speed things up. This is literally their only advanced negotiation for January. They're all in on Xerxes. It all comes down to one thing. If Manchester United don't find a new center forward by 31 January, they can just block the whole deal. But the second a half-decent attacking option appears, Joshua is almost certainly heading back to Serie A in the winter. Right now, it looks like this. United want cash up front, Roma want a loan and pay later, Amorim is torn between his system and the last few performances, and Xerxes is temporarily back in the starting 11 while everyone haggles over him every single day. Ronald Araujo right now is literally the question on everyone's lips. Hang on, is he even still a Barcelona player, or did they just forget to tell us he's gone? Red card against Chelsea, battered 0-3, and the lad hasn't been right since. It's not his knees knocking, his whole brain's bloody crunching. And instead of a hamstring, all of a sudden it's personal reasons. Hansi Flick says he's physically sound, just needs a breather, pull the other one. The captain buggers off to Tel Aviv mid-season for a bit of fresh air. Sport are spinning it like a spa weekend. Quick trip, recharge, wander around town, bit of peace, mental reset, club's 100% behind him. Sounds like a Thomas Cook ad, not a top defender falling apart in Europe's biggest snake pit. Then Kadina Cope roll in and torch the whole fairy tale. It's miles worse than we thought. Panic attacks, proper rock bottom, and the absolute kicker, he might never play for Barca again. Club line, no rush, come back when you're good and ready. Laporta, all this stick is bang out of order. We've got his back. Inside the club, we've never lost faith in him. We've seen this film before. First he's untouchable, then he's having a tough time, go easy, then got to think of the lad and the club. Final scene, mutual agreement, still mates, doors always open. Don't even need leaks anymore, it writes itself. Never forget what Araujo is worth. Young, leader, skipper, locked in till 2031. Before Chelsea, you couldn't even mention selling him without someone saying only daft money, because he was the absolute totem at the back. Now he's had a full-on mental collapse. Half the fans have made him the fall guy for the Chelsea nightmare. The Spanish press are doing their usual hatchet job, and the club know damn well sticking him back in that same toxic boiler room and pretending everything's fine is just begging for it to happen again. That's why Barca are being weirdly nice all of a sudden. Too cuddly for a club that basically runs on pure stress and leaks. They know the score. Either he takes a proper long break and comes back a different animal, or next thing you hear is he needs a fresh start somewhere else. And guess who's already queuing up? The Premier League lot. Just whisper Barca pressure and they're straight in with the knight in shining armor act and wheelbarrows of cash. Roll on next summer, some press conference up in Manchester, Araujo doing the "I needed a new challenge" line, while Barca tell everyone splitting up was honestly the best thing for everyone. Milan are going for a proper overhaul between the sticks, and they're aiming right at the very top, straight at Alisson Becker. The reason is simple and painful for the Rossoneri. They're bracing themselves for Mike Maignan expected departure when his San Siro deal runs out. Basically, from the 2026-27 season, they might not even have a number one. According to Sasha Tavolieri, Massimiliano Allegri's side see Alisson as the perfect heir to Maignan. Milan have already made the first moves and open talks with the Brazilian's camp. The hierarchy, led by Zlatan Ibrahimovic, are deliberately pushing this exact option and want to pull off a big statement signing right from the start of the summer. Alisson's contract at Liverpool runs until 2027, but the landscape at Anfield has shifted. The Merseysiders have brought in Georgi Mamardashvili as their long-term successor in goal. It's believed this is slowly nudging the club towards being ready to let Alisson go after 8 hugely successful years on Merseyside. The logic is clear. Once the replacement is already in the building and proving the required level, keeping 2 number ones till the bitter end isn't the smartest use of resources. Milan's proactive approach is exactly about securing continuity and top-level experience in goal before Maignan officially walks away. And that means they need a world-class keeper who can turn the page instantly and settle the position for years. In that context, 33-year-old Alisson looks absolutely ideal. Landing Liverpool's current first-choice goalkeeper is precisely the kind of signal that works both inside the dressing room and outside it. From Liverpool's perspective, Milan's interest comes at a convenient moment too. Alisson remains one of the best goalkeepers on the planet, but the picture changed the moment Mamardashvili arrived. This season, the Georgian has already played 10 matches across all competitions and impressed with his reactions on the line and commanding presence in the box. In other words, the foundation for a genuine changing of the guard at Anfield is already there. And as we all know, Liverpool's owners are famous for their data-driven approach and pragmatic attitude to protecting player value. They've always preferred to sell at the right time rather than let contracts burn down to the final year. Selling Alisson next summer, while they can still command a serious fee, fits that philosophy perfectly. For Mamardashvili, it means stepping straight into undisputed #1 status. It's the logical conclusion of the succession plan that was set in motion 18 months ago. For Milan, it's the chance to solve the painful Maignan replacement issue with the most high-profile solution possible. Manchester City have found their next right-back. The citizens are absolutely gunning for Valentino Livramento, the very same lad who's been rock-solid for Newcastle these past couple of years. According to Team Talk, City are preparing a £65 million bid, with add-ons. And that's not all. They're ready to sweeten it by throwing in goalkeeper James Trafford. Sounds tasty, doesn't it? Only problem is, Newcastle aren't having any of it. The Magpies have made it crystal clear, Livramento is not for sale. Eddie Howe calls him an irreplaceable part of the team and is pushing hard for a new contract. The board backed the manager all the way. They want to tie him down long-term and finally kill off all this talk about an £80 million release clause. Let's do the maths. City are offering 65. Newcastle want at least 80. 15 million difference isn't exactly going to make City walk away, especially when it's Pep Guardiola's absolute priority. Because yes, Livramento isn't just one of the options. He's top of the Catalans' wish list. But City aren't alone in this. Two London clubs are ready to fight for the 23-year-old Englishman. First up, Chelsea. The very Chelsea whose academy he left years ago. The Blues want their boy back at Stamford Bridge. Enzo Maresca reckons his profile is perfect for the defensive system he's building. Homecoming stories always look good on the timeline. Question is, are Chelsea prepared to match City's money? Second contender, Manchester United. Ruben Amorim desperately needs a versatile fullback with massive engine. Livramento fits the wingback role in the Portuguese manager's system like a glove. Young, rapid, boxes-to-box stamina, dream signing for a coach building everything around high-intensity pressing. While everyone fights over his signature, the player himself is ice-cool about his future. Completely focused on playing for Newcastle, but he's not slamming the door on a big move either. Why would you turn down that kind of money? Separate word on Trafford. Newcastle do actually like the keeper, but trading their top right back for a new goalkeeper? Not exactly top of their Christmas list. Makes sense. Why swap a brilliant defender for a keeper when your goal is already solid? If City want him in January, they'll have to pay proper silly money. Newcastle aren't the type to sell key men mid-season on the cheap. Summer will be calmer, City can make a more structured move then, but January could still decide everything. If City or anyone else meets Newcastle's price, the club will have to choose. Money or player? Principles or 80 million quid? Guardiola sees Livramento as the perfect defensive reinforcement. Someone who brings stability. And City needs stability right now, especially after the season they've just had. Livramento is young, high ceiling, already Premier League proven, only 23-year-old, minimum 10 more years at the very top. That's an investment in the future for any club. Question is simple, who's going to write the check first? Mike Maignan is one of the best goalkeepers on the planet. Full stop. The Frenchman's unreal performances are the main reason Milan are top of Serie A right now. Fans worship him, teammates pray to him. The coaching staff would carry him around on their shoulders. Only there's one tiny problem. His contract runs out in summer 2026, which means in 6 months he can walk for absolutely nothing. And it looks like that's exactly what's going to happen. Ekrem Connor says Manchester United have officially entered the race for the 30-year-old. The Red Devils are ready to fight for his signature, but they are far from alone. Chelsea, PSG, Juventus, Inter, everyone wants Maignan. 5 giant clubs, 1 world-class keeper, 0 transfer fee. Milan are desperately trying to keep him. They've already offered a juicy new deal, but Maignan isn't showing the slightest interest in signing it. All over Italy, they're saying the Rossoneri are actively looking for his replacement. His exit feels inevitable at this point. The pressure on him is insane from every angle, yet the lad seems to have already made his mind up. Let's run through the runners and riders. PSG want him back, yes. The same PSG that let him go in the first place. Hilarious, isn't it? They spent big on Lucas Chevalier from Lille in the summer, but now they want the experienced Frenchman as their proper number 1. PSG logic, never change. Chelsea still don't fully trust Robert Sanchez, putting it mildly. Inside the club, the feeling is growing that a truly elite keeper is what turns this current side into genuine title winners. Maignan is Chelsea's absolute priority. If he walks into Stamford Bridge, Sanchez is getting flogged, and they'll take any deal going. Under Todd Boehly, money has never been an issue. Juventus and Inter are both in too, both desperate for a proper upgrade in goal and both see Maignan as perfect. Stay in Italy but swap clubs, why not? Now Manchester United. This one's tasty. Last summer, the Red Devils were one step away from Emiliano Martinez, but ended up taking 23-year-old Senne Lammens. The Belgian has started brilliantly, but the club know they need a top-tier presence next to him. Maignan leadership would fast-track the kid's development and raise the bar for the whole team overnight. Mentor and rival in one. Smash the like button right now, lads. Up or down, doesn't matter, just interact. It helps the channel massively. Drop a comment as well. We read every single one. If Maignan really leaves Milan for free in 2026, someone is getting a world-class keeper for peanuts. Well, peanuts apart from wages and signing bonus. But still, for a goalkeeper of this level, it's an absolute steal. The chances of that happening are higher than ever right now. Chelsea are ready to pounce the second he becomes a free agent, but everything depends on what Maignan himself wants, sporting project and money-wise. England? Back to Paris? Stay in Italy but different club? So many questions, zero answers yet. Milan are losing their best player, and they seem to have accepted it. They're already hunting for his replacement. That tells you everything. Maignan is a world-class keeper in his absolute prime at 30 years old. 5, 6 more years at the very top, easy. Whoever signs him gets an elite goalkeeper for no transfer fee. We just need to find out who that lucky club is going to be. The proper transfer hunt for Arda Güler has officially begun, and this time it's not random clubs, it's the big Premier League guns. Arsenal, Liverpool, and Manchester United are all watching the Turk like hawks, and are ready to knock on Real Madrid's door. Caught offside say the 20-year-old is already on the shortlists of several top English sides, and it's not hard to see why. The lad has absolutely shown under Xabi Alonso, can play through the middle or out wide with the same quality, and his football brain is ridiculous. That exact combination makes him the dream signing for any club that wants to build their attack around one special player, not just another winger. Manchester City are taking it even more seriously. They haven't just scribbled his name down, they're plotting how to test Real Madrid's resolve. Classic playbook. Everyone says the player is untouchable, then someone slaps a monster offer on the table, and suddenly it gets very uncomfortable. The neighbors at Manchester United aren't sitting on their hands either. Ruben Amorim wants more creativity up top and sees Güler as the perfect upgrade. Yes, United are decently stocked in his positions right now, but they're planning ahead and will make Real a concrete bid the moment a window opens. This isn't maybe one day, this is an actual strategy. Liverpool are moving fastest of all. Arne Slot absolutely loves Güler's versatility and believes he can become a key man at Anfield. With the Salah situation still up in the air, they see the Turk as the long-term successor. The Reds are the most active right now. Scouts have tracked him all season, and Slot is obsessed with his directness and ability to play in tight spaces. Arsenal are no strangers to this race. The Gunners have been on Güler since last summer. Rumors were flying then too. Mikel Arteta adores players who can cover multiple roles, and Güler fits his system like a glove. At the same time, they're also keeping tabs on his Turkey teammate Kenan Yildiz, who prefers the left. So North London are weighing up 2 Turkish options to boost the attack. Here's the massive problem for every English suitor though. Real Madrid have zero intention of selling Güler. They see him as a cornerstone of the next era. The hierarchy rate his progress sky high and consider him completely untouchable. That said, next summer some genuinely gigantic English bids could land on their desk. And that's when we'll find out just how firm Real's stance really is. At 20 years old, Arda Güler is already regarded as one of Europe's brightest attacking talents. Technique, vision, versatility, people are calling him exceptional for a reason. If Real even slightly crack the door open, the Premier League battle for him will be off the charts. Then it won't be about staying or leaving. It'll be about choosing between Arteta, Slot, Amorim, or Manchester City's master plan to make Madrid's board sweat. Sergio Ramos to Manchester United isn't a rumor anymore. It's a bloody meme walking. Cadena Ser come out and say, the club have already stuck an offer in for the 39-year-old with January in their heads. So this is how United fix the defense now. Not with proper young ballers, not with any sort of plan, but with a bloke who's knocking on 40 playing in Mexico. I absolutely love Ramos. 4 Champions Leagues, Real Madrid legend. Scores in the 95th minute for fun, absolute king. But come on, let's have it right. He's 39 years old, in the Premier League, where Haaland's going to be running at him like a Scania lorry with the brakes cut. And United look at that and go, Yeah, that's our guy. Are they even watching football anymore, or are they just sat in a room playing his 2014 Champions League final goal on repeat? Monterrey is a whole different conversation. They're trying to tell us he left an incredible legacy there. What legacy? Didn't win the league, didn't even get to the final. Yeah, he played, yeah, he ran about, yeah, he did the armband thing, but it's Mexican League, mate. That's not where you prove you're ready for the Premier League again. Classic line from his camp, talks very early, nothing signed yet. United do need proper experience at the back, fair play. But they need experience that can still bloody shift. Mexico to Manchester is like going from a spin class to riding the Tour de France with no notice. Club will come out and say, we're looking at options to strengthen the back line, then no specific talks, then ghost us for a fortnight. Then either we get the medical pics, or it's completely dead and we all pretend we never heard it. Only way this makes any sense at all is if they're bringing him in purely as the old head to look after Euro and the kids, play the Mickey Mouse Cup games, teach them how to win trophies from the dressing room. Then yeah, I'd get it. But that's not what they're doing. They're doing it because Martinez keeps having absolute meltdowns and Maguire is Maguire. Free transfer, gorgeous, costs nothing up front, wages? Ramos isn't turning up for a Greg's pasty and a pat on the back. He wants proper money and United will give it him. Then 6 months down the line, they'll be scratching their heads trying to flog him when his legs have gone. Good luck shifting that contract. And to all you beautiful lot who watch every single video but still haven't subscribed, you are literally the Harry Maguire of this channel. Always here, sometimes useful, but officially you don't exist. Get out the shadows. Smash that subscribe button right now, or I'm selling you to Everton for 80 million. I swear on my life. All that matters now is January. If nothing real happens by New Year's Eve, it's just another load of complete nonsense.